Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Babe, I've got you, babe. I've got you, babe. Okay, campers, rise and shine. Don't forget your booties, because it's cold out there today.
It's cold out there every day. What's this, Miami Beach?
Not hardly, and you can expect hazardous travel later today. What with that blizzard thing?
That blizzard thing. Oh, yes, well, I've got National Weather Report right here. There's going to be a big blizzard thing later.
Yes, it does. And you know what makes today especially interesting?
Especially cold.
Yes, especially cold. Is the question on everybody's lips.
Their chapped lips.
Yes, their chapped lips. Will Phil come out and see his shadow?
Punxsutawney Phil.
That's right, Woodchuck Chuckers. It's Groundcast Day,
colon, a Groundhog Day podcast.
Yada, yada, yada.
Shake your hog out there.
Shake your hog out there.
Hi, I'm Robbie. This is Randy. This is episode 40.
You're Robbie and I'm Bandy? What?
This is episode 49, I believe.
Yep, it's episode
Holy
49.
Shit, we're almost done.
We're in the home stretch. We're almost done here. Trump is still in office,
yes.
And that ship is sinking fast until every little lickspittle decides to vote. No, he didn't come and do anything illegal.
Every rat is jumping ship.
And that's our political.
That's all we can say.
That's the political 30 seconds.
Yep.
And today, as we're doing our recording...
Oh, look, what's the date today? Why, it's Friday, November 15th.
Friday, November 15th, you say, in the year of 2019.
2019.
I was going to say, in the year of our Lord, 2019.
The year is 19 after 20, yes. 19
years after the millennium. Does it say a millennium?
Uh-huh.
Would you believe it? Would you believe that we're stalling for time?
After the coming of our Lord.
Would you believe we're stalling for time today?
A little bit, because I didn't really take much notes for this episode.
We've just been letting it wash over us as we enter the home stretch, people.
We were supposed to do a recording the other day, but we were both tired or busy or something, so here we are.
What was it? What happened
No one cares.
No. Stretching is that I had a little technical difficulties. My house was a little cold, and then I also had additional work and appointments that wasn't allowing anything to come together.
It was freezing here in River City, and I was not going to come over and do this in a cold house.
So he's doing it in a cold house, but just not as cold.
No, the other day was like negative 10 Celsius.
If you want the truth, my house, when I came in my house, it was about 52 degrees.
I don't know your Fahrenheit nonsense.
Yeah,
it's above 32, though. I know that.
It's about 8 degrees outside, maybe 10 degrees.
Yeah.
And then the day after, when we were like minus 14 outside.
So it was cold out there.
So shake your hog out there, because it's cold out there.
Yep.
But not today. Today we're above zero.
Today we are actually above 0 Celsius, and but not tomorrow. It's going to be cold again.
Always cold in this never-ending winter. So with that stalling out of the way.
This week, how was your watch? My watch, I tried to watch the movie, the second half of the movie first, then the first half afterwards to see if it changed anything. And no, not really.
Bobby's getting experimental with this. And he didn't take any notes because he doesn't know what to take notes on, because he hasn't really paid attention to the second half of the movie until... Let's work with your most recent stuff and go backwards here. Okay. Until during the whatchamacallit?
Huh?
Tell me your latest findings.
Oh, you want me to do my notes now? But we don't have nothing to talk about next episode.
Oh, we
Randy.
always have more stuff to talk about.
Okay, show me the list.
Okay, so what you talked about originally.
Randy is now pulling up a second screen.
The second screen.
He's got his phone and a laptop open now, and instead of looking at the laptop, he's looking at his phone.
So, you started here with your most recent stuff.
Oh my god, I can't work this thing. I use a flip phone.
Bobby is a Luddite.
I said, okay, I've learned something today, and that is, at the beginning of, this is actually at the first half of the movie now. This was on today's viewing. We see a woman and a man on the stage at the Groundhog Festival. The woman has a sash on. Today, on my very low-resolution computer viewing, I looked real close. That sash says Miss Groundhog. And the man standing next to her is wearing a big badge, and it says King.
Oh, it does say King?
Yeah.
Because I was going to say that between this recording and our next one, we'll take a breather, and then we'll go pop the thing on and go check out that scene.
So I also noticed now, in the hotel, there's a poster that says Groundhog Day Beauty Contest. So
We've talked about that before.
Well, I forgot. So is Miss Groundhog related to the Groundhog Day Beauty Contest?
Yeah, that's who it is.
Because she was a very plain-looking woman in a jacket.
Yeah,
and a hat.
well, I'll have to see what it is, but
She didn't really look very beautiful,
because
honestly.
I pointed out before while we were watching the crowd scene that I'm like, oh, there's the beauty queen because it has the sash on it. So it has the winner, I think it says, or something like that. I have
No,
to
it
see
says Miss Groundhog.
Miss Groundhog, and then there might be somebody else as well, maybe runners up. I
Holy
don't know.
shit.
We'll have to take a look at that.
That's the outdoor scene you're talking about?
No, not the outdoor scene. It's during the final scene and with.
Wait,
like,
so
the
maybe
crowd.
there's two different
during
scenes.
during
So
the
how
bachelor's on.
so how do you win Miss Groundhog then, huh? And King?
Well, when a mommy and a daddy like doing things to animals.
Yeah. Oh, so you think
and the groundhog sees his shadow.
so you think they're affiliated with the Groundhog Club because they're on the stage with them? Whereas
They could have had like a king and queen of the festival, and then have your beauty queen. Well, no, it makes sense to have your beauty queen separate from your like as part of your who's the queen, who's the.
they're like, we got to kill as much time as possible at this festival. We're gonna have like 2 contests or three different contests, one for the Miss Groundhog, one for the King, and one for the Beauty Queen.
Yeah.
So the King goes with the Miss Groundhog instead of the Beauty Queen.
Like, this is all new to me. I have no idea what other than what I had seen in the crowd. I have no idea what you're talking about there. So we may have to table that and literally watch that scene over so that I can look at it.
All right. So there's a new thing for you. Also, we talked about the fact that there's a man in a hat clapping at the Groundhog Festival, and he's wearing a trench coat and a hat. And we also talked about the fact that there is a man in a trench coat and a hat at the ice sculpting scene. I asked if they were the same person. Today I looked more closely, and Ice Sculptor has a black beard and Clapping Man has a white beard. They're not the same guy.
Well, the outfit you were talking about earlier at the Groundhog Festival, like, are you talking about the ones on the stage with the leather gloves?
I'm talking about the guy in the gazebo.
There's a guy in the gazebo?
Clapping Man in the gazebo.
We've never talked about Clapping Man, so I don't know who this is.
I pointed him out to you before. He's standing at the gazebo right next to the 2 furries. He's standing there just going...
Yeah, I have no idea who Clapping Man is.
Oh my God, Randy! It's been 49 watches now. You don't know who Clapping Man is?
Well, I know the first half of the movie so well that I've been.
He's in the first half.
I've been trying to ignore it, so I may not have watched the first half of the movie closely in like the last 4 or 5 weeks.
I pointed him out to you while we watched it together.
And when was the last time we watched it together, good old Robert?
Like probably 20-something episodes ago.
Episode 10. That or thereabouts.
Well,
we were still watching it together.
It wore on a bit.
Oh, just
No, I think episode 10 was when we listened to the director's commentary.
Probably because we were doing like milestones, but we were still watching the movie together.
Yeah, it was a little rough to do that, so we had to stop. So
yeah, that's another one we'll have to table and take a look at.
Yeah, so you can.
Because I have no idea who you're talking about.
He's just slowly clapping. He looks like he's got no enthusiasm. And he's just clapping his hands like. He was told, like he was directed, just clap. He's like,
you hate being here,
and it doesn't match like the music or anything.
I thought you meant one of the men on the stage. Like I'm starting to remember you talking about
when
a man clapping.
When he first enters the Groundhog Festival,
I don't remember him.
There's a gazebo there where Nancy usually stands. Where Nancy only stands next to him one day.
You mean where Nancy stands just out of the shot on the other side of the thing?
So on the other side of where Nancy is that one day, there's a clapping man, and in between them is like the 2 people in the groundhog costumes. And there's also an idiot dancing on like a bench or something.
That you pointed out to me before, and I looked at it and went, okay, it's a festival.
Yeah. It was a little festive. Your thing
so,
went off. Your thing went off.
Oh yeah, the screen goes off. So
I don't like this new technology.
Did Phil yiff with the furries?
There's a woman there. Give me that. I still have one more thing for you.
You think?
Yeah, you never know who's under that mask. I did notice before that raccoon-eyed reporter lady is holding up her microphone at the stage when Buster gives the speech. I asked if she was why she did it and Phil didn't. Today I noticed that there's 2 more reporters who are also sticking their microphones up from a different angle, but they're all standing like flush to the stage, and nobody else is doing that.
The things you do when we're running out of content.
Yep.
As this winds down and how much we care. Mm-hmm. So, no, we already talked about the Wikipedia aspect of everything.
Randy's got some stuff here.
And then we started going back to the idea of how we keep joking and threatening you people, the one person who watches this, to do a game, and how we would revisit the classic episode of what did we call it? Take That, You Worm? No, that was the name of the podcast. Parahumans RPG or something stupid like that, where you had wanted to make me return to the
Agent
character.
Carter has to save... I'm not going to let you stop playing that game until you save River City from Behemoth.
An impossible to defeat enemy.
No, you can drive him away.
By how?
You can delay him long enough until Eidolon shows up and fights his worthy opponent.
I would say, oh, you mean I have to somehow puppeteer the flesh of the muscles of the corpses and make them...
You got to get Parian in there. Parian's hidden power.
Don't worry, we will not be doing a worm cast. We're fine with that.
There already
even
is
though we had the good title of "Take That, You Worm."
Yeah, you worm cast.
So it's so dumb. I'm so glad I haven't read any of
my last freaking. I can't even find my last thing I said to you.
Well, we talked. So yeah, you're talking about the raccoon lady. So on the second Groundhog Day report. He's a good, jolly good fellow music.
So we talked about that already. You gotta go
what
farther
did I tell
down.
you?
Oh, I don't know.
It's like I don't remember any of that.
I don't know. It's hard to navigate this thing.
Yeah, just give me the stupid thing. I have it.
No, because there's something else I'm trying to find where I said to you that I'm watching the second half first. That should have been a couple of days ago only.
Okay, having watched it suffers the same fate as Starship. Nope, that has nothing to do with this.
That's for our other podcast about Star Kid shows, not this one.
We don't talk about that. Oh, yeah, I had a lot of stuff that I was talking about. Dear
Sonic
Lord.
the Hedgehog? No, not that.
Some more Sonic the Hedgehog. Hey, at least he looks better now, right, Sonic?
Sonic no longer looks hideous, guys. This is that's another milestone for this thing.
So Bobby will look hideous in his homemade Sonic
costume.
Cosplay.
And get ready for our next podcast. Hedgehog Day, where we just watched the Sonic movie 52 times.
In theaters.
It's going to cost quite a bit of money, but...
And nobody's going to talk about it.
Although we'll probably save money by going there once in the morning, pay for the ticket, then just sit there all day. Just stay in the theater, don't leave. We're camping.
Okay, my latest watch is the second half of the movie from Dancing in the Snow scene on first.
What date was it?
That one was... the 13th, and then you did not elaborate about it at all.
Okay, that's where I left off.
And then you went, so when are you watching it? And I'm like, so you're watching it now? And then you're like, dang. And then that was it.
Yeah, I told you I didn't take notes for the last watch.
And then that's where I begin my stuff. But I'm going to save my stuff for the next podcast.
All right.
That we have to do. Including my little bit that I have.
Oh boy.
Always another bit.
How are we doing on time?
I know, this feels like it's dragged, but we're not allowed to do any less than 20 minutes.
No, how are we doing on time?
20. We're at 12.
Oh my god. You gotta say your notes.
Nope, I'm not touching that. Not touching it with a 10-foot pole. Though I will bring up something interesting I noticed going back to the book I always threatened to pull out and start doing my close watch on it. I gave up on that.
I don't think exists because...
The three... There is a... Well, it's hard when you're taking notes in a close reading of something because you have to take every single instance. So the notebook isn't so much like, oh, here's this random thought, here's this random thought. It's just a series of like statistical things where it's like, okay, so-and-so said the word first this many times. He's used this sentence. What does this mean? So to go back to that whole idea, there's one scene that you... It's getting dark in my house.
Yeah, it's getting dark in here now.
After Phil starts going to have his downward spiral, we get 3 shots close together of Phil waking up, clock turns 6, he destroys it. 3 days in a row. So we get 6, 6, 6. This is
18.
Yes, it is 18, but, which is also 9, which is also the Trinity 3 times, and that's not where I was going. I was saying that we're getting the number of the beast so that we that's a 666 in order to signify that
the devil trapped him in there.
That the devil trapped him in there. That this is Ned's gambit, and that he is now entering his own personal hell.
Oh yeah, we have to wrap up the storyline involving the
because he has to. He still hasn't made his way towards his single premium life, because ultimately what this devil, the devil in Ned's body is trying to do is redeem Phil. This is his hell. He's trying to give him a chance for redemption, to become a better person and live his single premium life.
There was something I wanted to talk about, but I forgot to write it down. There was something Ned says at the end when he talks about all the things that Phil bought. And there was one thing he says, and I can't remember what it is, but he's like, I wonder what the hell it was.
Do you mean during the before the Don't Ruin It?
Yeah, right before Don't Ruin It.
Okay, so we have to revisit these two scenes. You want to point things out to me before we do our next recording, and we have to revisit the Ned
Man, this
talk.
is a bad episode. Here's some content for you. When Phil is on his third day, and he's just like, Rita, come meet me at the cafe. She's like, what? Then they're sitting there. Why is he asking her for help? He's like, you're a producer, do something. Like, does he think that a producer has some powers that normal people don't?
Well, she's technically supposed to... Okay, I have a question. What does a producer do?
Yeah, this job kind of seems like it could have been done by just Phil and Larry. I think her only job really was to just book the rooms and everything.
I think she's supposed to be there to make sure everything runs smoothly.
So in other words, she's a manager. She's a useless manager.
And to this is 92. I was going to say that it was to when he finally sexually harasses her too much to give just cause to fire him, but no, not 92.
No, nobody gave a shit about that back then. You could do whatever the fuck you wanted. He could have grabbed her titty right there, and there would have been no consequences. This is again a case of bloated network spending. We're just like, let's just send another crew member. We can just send 3 people. This could have been a 2-man operation. And has it always been a 2-man operation? Was the previous year was there a third person who was a different producer who's now moved on?
Maybe I'll have something to talk about in a couple of minutes on our next episode.
Yeah, this is me reaching, people. You're hearing me reach. I also want to talk about the fact that
when you write into Google, what does a producer? They go, what does a producer do?
Yeah,
if they autocomplete it, a film producer would they be considered a film producer?
TV news, but
either employed by a production company or working independently, produces plans and coordinates various aspects of the production, such as selecting script, coordinating writing, directing, editing, and arranging financing.
Right.
So, in her case,
we know she booked the hotel.
So she books the hotel. She makes sure that all the things they might need that needs to make everything legal. Like if they require any permits, they have the permits. They have permission to park where they're parking. Yada yada yada. She makes sure that the talent is happy.
Yep.
So ultimately, she's in control of his life here. She's the one she's there to make him happy. She's there to please him. She's a people person. She's meant to be the.
She goes to dinner with Larry.
Yeah.
Jeez, I wonder where they ate.
And then so then when you write, what does a television producer do? A television producer is a person who oversees one or more aspects of a video production on a television program. So the exact same word for word thing, but with the word television shoved in there.
Mm-hmm. So where do you think Larry and Rita ate that night? On night 1 and then the first night 2?
I was gonna make a dirty joke, but never mind. I'll say that they had just probably chicken.
Okay. Probably
some steak. They probably went to that little restaurant that Buster dies at.
Okay.
Because that would make sense.
Yep. Jeez, I was just about to say something else, but I forgot what it was. Oh, there was something about a theme. Oh crap! I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh man.
Yeah, sorry that we're reaching for it this week, but it's been a rough week. We're not that we're winding down.
We're getting burned out on this movie.
It's that we're getting burnt out on.
I'm running out of things to say. Oh, I was going to tell you. Another thing I was going to say that we have to wrap up the storyline. By 52, we have to wrap up what happens with that bartender and Nancy. How are they getting out of this time loop?
I think that time. You know what? We don't have a lot of time left. I'm going to table that.
Oh, for God's sakes! This is going to be a contentless episode, and you know it.
Oh, I know. This is the episode, people, where you feel our despair. We're almost to the end, and it's become like one of those loveless marriages where the partners don't have anything to say to each other anymore.
We're just having mechanical sex now. I'm thinking about somebody else.
It's like we're sitting at the table eating supper, and it's like we're not saying a word to each other, or we're sitting in front of the television with our dinner TV trays, just watching the Groundhog Day news.
We're not even yelling at each other. We're just bored.
It's just like
passion.
And then we go to bed to our own separate rooms.
We're in separate rooms, even, yeah.
And with that, we are at the 1930 something time.
No. We gotta go until 20.
So I'm gonna tap us out. very slowly to the 20 thing.
Boy, that dragged on. This one dragged on.
So everybody, once again,
We're bad at this, man.
I'm Randy.
I'm Bobby again.
That's Bobby. Today is November.
They already heard the date. Fuck it.
2019.
They already heard the date.
4:37 p.m.
Oh man.
On a cold winter day in River City.
Want to hear one more thing?
And
no, want to hear one more thing?
Sure.
Okay. When Rita and Phil order sweet vermouth on the rocks with a twist, why are they not served in wine glasses?
That is actually a very good question.
They're served in like little shot, like not shot glasses, but those little like
brandy snifters.
Yeah,
no, not
like
brandy. Not
brandy.
brandy.
It's like a little
whiskey glass.
It's like 3-inch tall glass.
Yeah, whiskey glasses.
That doesn't have a wine stem. It's just
it's a whiskey glass. Like how? Yeah, how do you normally serve vermouth?
So look it up. How do you serve vermouth?
Yeah, and actually, now I'm curious.
Create content, Randy.
Well, we're over our 20 minutes here, but
we're content creators now.
No, we're only content creators if we're paid.
Mm-hmm. And we're definitely not paid. By the way, did you hear YouTube is like asking you to like register whether your videos are kid friendly or not or some shit now?
We're not.
We're definitely not kid friendly. We're swearing up. Fuck you kids. Fuck you.
Okay, so vermouth is usually served in a very small glass or tumbler with a large ice cube, a slice of orange, and an olive, sometimes stuffed with an anchovy. Alongside the vermouth, the bar staff will generally offer you a siphon or bottle of carbonated water, which you may choose to top up your vermouth with.
Well, they clearly didn't have any water with them. Send me that link, too. I want to read it later.
Actually, that's how to drink vermouth like a local in Barcelona, so that might be...
Oh, fuck that. No, that's no good. This is Punxsutawney.
Yeah, so although vermouth is delicious in cocktails, it's even better served on ice with a citrus twist.
Some might say a twist. On the rocks with a twist.
That's what it is. That's literally what it is. And it's usually served in a small glass or a tumbler. So it's served it right.
Well, like it was. Hey, that bartender knows what he's doing. I just wanted to know why it wasn't a wine glass. Now I got my answer.
Because apparently they don't serve it in wine glasses. So with that,
that's
folks,
weird because regular wine is not served with ice, but vermouth is.
Yep.
So now we learned something today.
For once.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.